Hello guys, welcome to another video. DeepSeek V4 has just been released. So in this video, we're going to talk about the DeepSeek V4's architecture and how that works. I'll make a comparison between the DeepSeek V4 and also the Qwen3.6, which was also just released, and to see what are the benefits of each architecture. So they're different, but each one of them has their own benefits. So that being said, let's get started. If you want to know more about DeepSeek V4 release, you can go to the x.com announcement. You can see there's a technical report, there's open weights, and you can click this link to take a look for the implementation architecture. So if you go to the Hugging Face, you can see the DeepSeek V4 has three major changes or the key upgrades in architecture and optimization. The first is hybrid attention architecture. So this is basically a compressed sparse attention, CSA, and heavily compressed attention combined approach, and also there's a manifold constraint hyperconnections. So this is a architecture for the connections between different layers. So so in this way, they actually surpass the traditional residual connections. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. And for the training, they use muon optimizer. So they employ a muon optimizer for faster convergence and greater training stability. So this is great, but for the Qwen3.6, so how does that work is the Qwen3.6, they actually use a gated delta net and also the gated attention. So these are the major differences between the Qwen3.6 and the DeepSeek V4. So different architecture, both are great, but we'll do a comparison between both and explanation of each to see why each one addresses different problems and why they're actually both very interesting and effective implementations. So that being said, let's go to the performance first. So the performance for DeepSeek, you can see DeepSeek actually V4 compare itself to Opus 4.6. So Opus 4.6 Max. So you can see the results are astonishing. So DeepSeek V4 almost in line with Opus 4.6 in all different matrices, right? And if you look at the Qwen3.6, it also has a comparison of the Opus model, but it compared the Qwen3.6 to Opus to Claude Opus 4.5. So it is pretty good also, but I think if you look at just metrics, the DeepSeek V4 seems more superior. So that being said, let's go to the architecture implementation and what does those architecture mean. So they basically both follow a less memory but more context approach. So they use less GPU memory, GPU compute, but they will actually retrieve and process more context, so more information. So if you look at the DeepSeek model, right? DeepSeek model actually uses a so-called sparse retrieval. So it's an indexer, but the Qwen3.6 strategy is a linear recurrence. So what is a linear recurrence? So linear recurrence is basically forget the exact history, keeps a summary, and you will keep everything in a fixed size recurrent state. So it's a fixed matrix, but it uses the gated delta net. So that's what we talked about earlier. So they use gated delta net and also gated attention to speed up the compute. So the gated delta net, so instead of storing every previous token, it compresses history into a fixed size recurrent state. It's one matrix, so no matter how many informations flow into the matrix, basically it's a fixed matrix, and only keeps the important things in the matrix for fast information retrieval. And so you can see that inference cost is always linear, so it's all zero. The complexity is always all zero, whether its context is 1K or 1 million tokens. So the compute and memory usage remain roughly the same for the linear layers. So it's like massive recurrent neural networks. So the trade-off is that it can struggle to recall exact details from the distant past because they only retrieve the most important part and put it into the matrix. So if they're not retrieved or not stored, so the information is gone. So basically, they only store what's deemed important enough to update the state. So hope that makes sense. The DeepSeek V4, the difference is that, so they use sparse retrieval. So they keeps all the information. So they use the hybrid attention, and also they keeps the KV cache, but radically compresses it and only looks at the most relevant tokens using a lightning indexer. So they keeps all the information that basically covers the entire context. So but only retrieves it differently. So which means that it keeps the history, the entire history, but only look at what matters. So the information is all there, but it's just retrieve that like a librarian. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's go through this difference first. So the result is that the inference cost is significantly reduced, even though it keeps the entire context, but it's technically still tied to the sequence length. It treats attention like a database query. So find top K relevant tokens rather than a full scan. So like a library, you only found the different indexes for the library, like which row, which column, and then you retrieve that information based on the indexer. So it's also called a lightning indexer, as I mentioned earlier. So that indexer is very important. So for this sparse retrieval and also the compressed attention. So the trade-off is that it maintains the quadratic precision of transformers where it matters, but requires complex routing logic. So it's like a librarian, right? You have to route to the specific location to retrieve the data. So that's for the DeepSeek V4 strategy, and keeps a history, but only look at what matters. So there's no data loss in this case. It just depends on how to route the query. So hope that makes sense. And so for the signal propagation, so basically when you pass the input, it will pass through different layers of the neural nets. So the propagation for Qwen3.6 is that it relies on delta net formulation. It focuses on value heavy heads to maximize capacity of its recurrent state. So basically, this means that for the query key, it keeps a 1-to-3 ratio. So it has everything in a recurrent state matrix. So which means that, let me show you an example of what it means. So if you look at the left image, so basically there's a query key. So it's only 16 query key heads, but it put everything into a value matrix. So basically this is a recurrent state matrix. So it keeps every important information in that matrix. So that's how it works. And for the propagation, so it trusts standard residual connections to propagate the state. So the strategy that Qwen3.6 uses is that so it keeps the fixed value has, and basically everything in the matrix is fixed. And for the fixed GPU or fixed GPU RAM, it basically tries to maximize the capacity of its recurrent state using a 3.1 ratio, but it trusts standard residual connections to propagate this state through different layers. For the DeepSeek V4, the strategy is very different. So it's multifold constraint hyper connections. So this suggests that they found standard residual connections unstable, which is what Qwen3.6 uses, especially when it comes to a very high depth, so extreme depth, like 100 plus layers. So they mathematically constrain the signal flow to maintain stability, so without needing to scale up the width as much. So basically there's an algorithm when they pass through or propagate through different layers. So this is a depth optimization strategy. So that's what DeepSeek V4 uses, while the information process or propagate across layers. So then you can see that the DeepSeek V4, so MHC approach seems to be more superior. And for the comparison summary, so for Qwen3.6 and DeepSeek V4, so the Qwen3.6, they uses a hybrid linear recurrent neural networks. So the DeepSeek V4 uses a sparse attention, and a compressed attention. So for the memory approach, the Qwen3.6 uses a fixed state, so compresses history into a running matrix state. So as we saw earlier, and the DeepSeek V4 uses a compressed KV, blocks and retrieves sparsely. So, and for inference speed, because it's linear, so it's always constant 101, does not slow down as context grows, but lose information. So if you look at the DeepSeek V4, it's fast, but depends on sparsely density. So how many tokens it needs to check? So like a library, as I mentioned earlier. And how many books, how many stacks in the library. And so that is relative to the speed. So signal flow. So standard residuals, very heavy heads. That's for Qwen3.6, but for DeepSeek V4 is manifold hyper connections and constraint flow to deep stability. And for the training, so standard training for the DeepSeek V4 is muon optimizer, specialized for momentum and stability. So analogy, so as I mentioned earlier, so the Qwen3.6 is like a speed reader who takes detailed notes in a notebook. So while they read, when asked a question, they check their notebooks. So constant time, but if they didn't write down, it's gone. And for the DeepSeek V4, it's like a library. So they keep all the books, but zip them up in a compressed architecture, which is the HCA. When asked a question, they use a super fast index, the CSA, to find the sparse attention, to find the exact page to read. So HCA plus the CSA. So very, very advanced. So this is really good. And for the Qwen3.6, basically you can see that it's a linear recurrence, right? So there's basically no matter how the massive data input is being fed into a single glowing cylinder, this represents the fixed size memory state, and it doesn't matter how much data flows in, the container size stays the same. So it's O1 efficiency. So to show you an image of how that works is that so you can look at the left image. So this is the context input. So no matter how many input is there, so it's always the fixed size recurrent state. So everything is filled into the container, right? And no matter how many information is processing, it's always have a linear time. So, and for the DeepSeek V4, the sparse retrieval is that it's like a library. So it's full context history library. So it's like a history library, but it find a very efficient way to retrieve it by a lightning indexer, right? So you can retrieve that very efficiently. So that's how it works using a graph. You can see the difference. So we covered the DeepSeek V4 and also the 3.6, right? And then, so the DeepSeek V4 primary architecture innovations include the CSA, so compressed sparse attention. So it's like a lightning indexer. It's a very key important feature. So instead of scanning the entire context of every token, it selectively retrieves only the most relevant historical information, similar to how a search engine targets specific pages. So for the HCA, this strategy radically reduces the KV cache size. So by compressing the memory of the previous tokens by up to 10x compared to previous versions, the model can store as much more information in the same amount of GPU RAM. Manifold constraint hyper connections. So these are specialized residual connections designed to keep signals from degrading as they pass through hundreds of layers. So there's algorithm and there, as we mentioned earlier, they ensure that the thinking remains stable and focused even in a very deep model architecture. So this is the reason why DeepSeek V4 only takes 10% of the KV cache and 20% of the flops, the computing cost of its predecessors for 1 million token context. So DeepSeek V4 seems very, very solid for architecture perspective. So hopefully that helps. So if you want to try it out, they release it on the chat.deepseek.com. So you can just go to the website. So you can see that I asked the DeepSeek V3 or DeepSeek V4. It says it is DeepSeek V4. So you can try it out on their official website. It already released. They didn't mention it in the list. And also, if you look at the tokens, pricing, so the DeepSeek V4 has Flash and Pro pricing, and for the Flash is a lot cheaper. For the Pro, it's a lot more expensive, in fact. So that's it. So hopefully this is helpful. And if you like this video, please subscribe, like, or comment if you have any questions. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and see you in the next one.